anger is trying to motivate you to get something done. Therefore, when you feel angry because you feel lost, you need to sit back and think, okay, I've got all this energy from that anger, which is fantastic. You need energy to find out what the best next step is. Therefore, use that anger so that you stop feeling lost. Start thinking, what is my best next step? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about 5 reasons why it is that you feel angry and share with you some nice, easy tips to help you to stop feeling angry. And the first reason is lack of control. Because if you feel you don't have control, what happens is that you get overwhelmed and all of a sudden anger pops up and goes, you need to control what's going on in life. The thing is that if you feel out of control, your body goes into hyperdrive, trying to help you to gain an element of control and stability in those times. Therefore, the anger is actually trying to help you to stop feeling out of control and not knowing what to do. So by being angry, it's giving you motivation and drive to go out and do something. Anger's there is not actually a bad thing. It's trying to do something. It's trying to help you. It's trying to give you that strength and that ability and drive to go out and get something, do it, achieve it, and get into that position of empowerment. And during COVID-19, there's so many more people feeling angry because we're trying to find a way to gain an element of control in our lives. We're not sure how long this is going to last for, what the best next steps are. We're not seeing our friends, our family. We're trying to go and think about this and be something different, something we're not used to being. So what I would say to you is this: you need to start to form a new way to relate to this time, a way in which you feel empowered. You know what you need to do so that you can rest, relax, and also be comfortable in the position you're in. That might mean setting up a room to be an office, taking time out away from your family in order to do the things that you need to do, or just connecting to people in a different way so that you're able to connect to them, grow and develop with them, and also on your own. Just essentially gaining control over this time, exactly what the anger is trying to motivate you to go and do. Gain control. And the second reason why you're angry is because someone has upset you. And when someone upsets you, it goes against what you wanted. You had all these hopes and dreams for the way the life was going to be, but someone comes in and puts their own 2 cents on your life, which ends up putting you out. And then you get angry. If you go and shout and scream at them for doing something wrong or just telling you what they think, you're going to end up feeling bad for saying those things and also be labeled as someone that's angry and out of control. Again, the anger is trying to show you that something's happened and you need to gain control of it. Therefore, when you get angry at someone, don't shout and scream at them, but instead compose yourself, take a deep breath in and think, how can I articulate a message? Tell that person they've done something wrong so that you're able to release the anger, but not using it by shouting, but instead by calmly telling them what they've done wrong. What that does is allow them to see what they've done wrong and help you to bridge that gap so that they know not to do it again, and also to help you to tell them what they need to do differently next time. And maybe they don't feel very happy that they have to change the way that they're relating to you either. So you're able to collaborate, to build a new relationship. This all comes from you recognizing that anger and using it in a productive way, using the anger to articulate and tell them what's wrong. And the third reason why you get angry is because you're bored. And the thing about anger is it sits right on top here. And anger sits on top because, again, it's trying to motivate you to do something. When you feel bored, depressed, anxious, they sit just here, just below the anger, because if you've been feeling bored for a while, what happens is that your brain goes, there's something needs to change here, you need to do something, because otherwise you're going to slip into that pit of depression. Therefore, you get angry. And when you get angry, it gets you, again, motivated and driven to go out and make a change, do something different, and just try and relieve that sense of pain that you're feeling, that pain of boredom. Therefore, when you get angry, when you're bored, why don't you start thinking to yourself, okay, rather than me walking about, shouting and screaming at people, being angry at everyone and everything around me, think, how can I make a positive change in my life so that instead of me being angry, I can use that anger and that motivation of anger to build something, to develop something, to grow something. Because so many of us don't have an outlet in which we can feel happy and content at the work that we've done. We're usually working for someone else, getting schoolwork done, doing anything except the stuff that we want to do. But sometimes we don't even know what we want to do because we're so used to people telling us what we should be doing, how we should be acting, what we should be achieving in our lives. Therefore, why don't you think to yourself, okay, What could I do to help empower myself? And the fourth reason is because something hasn't gone right. And when something hasn't gone right, you get disappointed, you feel upset, and then you get angry because that anger, again, is trying to get you to find a new way to do something. And when you get angry, usually you want to either run away from it or you end up breaking something and destroying the work that you've done or that relationship that you've been trying to build. Things not going right are not necessarily a bad thing, because if you think about failure, if you try something once, the chances of you getting it right the first time are really, really, really small. So then you need to try realizing that you need to build on that failure, know what you did wrong, and then substitute that for a different sort of behavior or action so that you're not failing over and over again. Things not going right are just a way for you to build that new way of relating to that situation. So try left instead of right, up instead of down, until you get the right thing. You know, I always mention Thomas Edison in these times because he just wanted to find the way that worked. And he would succeed at failing until he got the right way of doing it. And then as soon as he's done something right, such as create the light bulb, he would just go off and create something else. Learn from his mistakes, because that's where he saw the puzzle of life. Learning, adapting, changing, and moving forward. Things not going right, again, is never a nice thing. But if you could start to learn that just because it doesn't feel nice doesn't mean it's wrong. Doesn't mean you should run away from it. Get angry, but use that anger to motivate you to find the way that does work. And the last thing I want to talk to you about today is feeling lost, because when you get lost, you feel vulnerable. When you feel vulnerable, you're trying to gain control. Again, anger comes up and leads you to try and gain an element of control in your life. And when you shout and scream, people get scared. People want to help you. So it gives you that sense of validation. But being lost doesn't need to be a bad thing. I talk loads in my practice about feeling vulnerable, because vulnerability is seen as something that's bad because people are going to take advantage of it, or you're not going to know what the next best steps are. But if you can feel comfortable in feeling vulnerable, what happens is that you can learn so much about yourself. You can know why it is you feel this way and learn to adapt and change so that you can bridge that feeling of vulnerability to feel empowered and motivated, to give you a direction as to what to do next. Remember, vulnerability is there just sharing with you that there's something not right, something needs changing, just like anger. But anger is trying to motivate you to get something done. Therefore, when you feel angry because you feel lost, you need to sit back and think, okay, I've got all this energy from that anger, which is fantastic. You need energy to find out what the best next step is. Therefore, use that anger so that you stop feeling lost. Start thinking, what is my best next step? This is a really, really tough subject to talk about because so many of us want that answer. And I wish I could give it to you, but everyone's different. My answer was becoming a counselor and helping people that way whilst doing a YouTube channel. That doesn't mean that my way's right, and you should do that yourself, because everyone's got a different way of relating to themselves in the world. For example, some people want to work in the city being stockbrokers. Some people want to work in insurance. Some people want to work in retail. But you need to work out what the best next step is for you so that you can use that motivation of anger in order to achieve something and grow something, rather than using the anger to destroy something. What this whole video has been about is about learning what it is that makes you tick. What makes you feel angry? And then when you've learned that, you can start, instead of getting angry and feeling stuck, getting angry and using it as a motivator to push you forward, to achieve something and grow something. Whenever we see anger in popular culture, we're always shown it as something which is a destructive thing, something that destroys things, breaks relationships, does something which ends up hurting us and everyone around us. But if we can get a handle on how to use anger properly, then we can use it just as a motivator and a signal to show us there's something wrong, and then something creative to go out and achieve whatever it is that we want to do. Again, to repeat myself, anger motivates you to get something done. So use it for what it's there for, rather than pushing it back, hoping it will go away. But in the end, it will just keep on building and building until you use it in that destructive way, which isn't going to help you or anyone else. That's what I want to leave you with today. And why don't you share with me what makes you feel angry, and I can help you to start uncovering new ways to relate to that anger and also how to use it productively to achieve your dreams. Look forward to seeing you next time. Remember to like this video, subscribe to see plenty more to come. Take care. Bye bye.